was it with the ARM chips or something, where somebody wanted to integrate a vulnerability via like contribution to the open source. And
no.
We were talking about. Wait, what was the exact? What were the specifics?
You're talking to you.
There was something that was going to be integrated into the ARM chips. There was something about the chips.
No, I'm not sure about ARM chips.
Because we were discussing that for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, it was a software-related thing that we were talking about. Then every single time we started with that subject, he would somehow drop the connection. Somehow the connection would just drop for no reason. And we looked at it like, dude, someone's listening. So sarcastically we were saying that, but then it kept happening. So it was like, huh. It wasn't that bad. It was not like a bad thing, but it was funny.
No, but we have been shilling DeepSeek all along, so they should be on our side.
Exactly.
Or maybe as soon as they heard us say something bad, they're like, pull the plug.
Yeah. Rugged. I mean,
on that note though, about DeepSeek. Yeah, sorry, you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was going to make a joke.
Seem to be anything about ARM, and what you're probably talking about are utils, where a thing that's used in a lot of Linux distributions. It was in to XE, and it was caused by some autistic guy from.
Is he glitching or am I glitching?
It's probably.
He is glitching for me as well.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, if he's glitching for me and Adrian, but not you, then maybe it's like an X server issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Try dropping it if you want.
I think what you were talking about the utils.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, I would say XE is more of a social engineering attack. Like, so the person who was responsible for let's say for that code snippet or that code base, he gained trust from the fellow developers or maintainers, and at one point he made a malicious commit. That's how he got in.
Mm-hmm. That was the only time where we actually had a very good argument against open source software, even though it was not,
Yeah, so this is the case, right? Open source doesn't inherently mean secure. So it has to go through like independent audits. It has to go through it has to be overall a very active project. Maybe a lot of pen tests. Maybe the community should report more security vulnerabilities. Yeah, it's a common misconception that all open source softwares are secure. That's actually not the case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, I guess I have heard a little bit of that misconception, but I think the main reason why the misconception exists is I guess because people think people can check it, and therefore, if there was a vulnerability, it would have been already found.
Well, I feel the misconception was because the proprietary technologies have been deceiving the users, and they have been embedding backdoors everywhere. So at that point, people started trusting open source more because, basically it shows us transparency and it kind of builds trust, which is also not bulletproof, but it seems to be a better option than the proprietary technologies. But also, proprietary doesn't mean insecure inherently, so that's also there. But if we go by the true open source principles, I would argue it's actually good for humanity and innovation overall. That's one of the reasons why I like the partially open sourced models that we are talking about.
Yeah, I guess we could just call them open awaits. I think that's the common way they're referred to. If the weights are open source, then yeah. Speaking on open weights models, though, I think Llama 4 will probably significantly beat DeepSeek v3 and R1. But that should be a given to set the pace of things going, right? I think that's probably not going to release until May, June, or July, somewhere around there. And like by then, that's almost 6 months from now. But I don't think they will be like. I think that model by then will significantly beat, let's say, Cloud 3.5 Sonnet, even GPT-4o, etc. But I think a lot of the other players will also have significantly better models by then too, especially with like these new scale-up models that they haven't even announced yet. So yeah, like even if it might be like third place by then, it'll be significantly better than anything today.
Mm.
So by the time we have Grok 3, we would have Grok 2
By the
open
way,
source.
one thing will be sure in all of this, and that is Europe will be behind everyone else.
Yes.
Yeah, during the actual the operator announcement for OpenAI, they said this will be available like I think they said even maybe Australia or something, and they're like, might take us a while to get it to Europe though. Hold on, guys.
So
Europe
there
is
is
really
a
bouncing everyone right now.
So there is
I
a
would not
European
be
member of
surprised.
parliament.
I would not be surprised if an African country beats out African, Iran, North Korea, all of those somehow beat Europe in AI. I have no hope for AI. I have no hope for Europe.
Yeah, so I
think
think
you might be onto something. I don't think Europe does it, man. They should have already been on that.
Europe's, so even I put a post up about this earlier. See, I'm frustrated by this also. Specifically, I'm mostly frustrated with Germany and what they're doing down there. And the propaganda, it's like it's worse than in the US. Even I think at peak Biden was still not as bad as Europe is today, I think, in terms of ideology and position now.
I've been telling Adrian this. Every single person I know who was based and that they fucking went to Germany is like the most brainwashed retard on earth. The only thing they know is what the German media tells them. That's all they know.
Yep. And it's terrible because they are creatures of habit, which means that at I think 8 p.m. or something their time, they sit in front of the TV and consume the designated slop of the day. That's literally what they do. Without fail. Almost every single day, they sit in front of the TV, watch the slop, the Tagesschau. That's why they call it the Tagesschau. You know? And recently, they even changed the intro to the Tagesschau, where it says Guten Abend, Damen und Herren, which is like, how do I explain this? How do I translate this? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. They changed that into something that's gender neutral. I'm like, it's been this way for how many, like, it's been this way for ages, and you want to change it now. So they're not going backwards on wherever they're heading right now. They're just aping into it even further. And you can see this in, okay, so I can describe to you what Germany is like in this way. Let's imagine that you are doing something that is outside of the norm. You will be prevented from that, even if it's something that is good. So here's an example. There was once a guy in a little truck. He's driving down the road, and there was a climate protester, right? The most useless of people that you can ever imagine in any civilization. Even the homeless people are not as bad as these people. At least they don't sabotage fucking traffic and the economy at large by being in the way. So this person, the climate protester, the Stop Oil guy, lays in front of the truck. Then that guy goes out, the truck driver, and tries to pull him off the road. And then this random person with like long hair in a ponytail, this dude comes along and says, no, you can't do that. You're not the police. No. It's like this most pathetic fucking person. And nobody helps him. Nobody helps get this fucking idiot off the road so he can be on his way and do what he's supposed to do, his work. That's Germany in a nutshell. So anything that is somewhat outside of the standard, which was the guy on the bike that did that will be crushed. So that you don't do anything at all. That is what Germany is like right now. And only a few Germans catch on to this and say something about it, but what are they going to do? They're in the minority. That's a problem. That is what's happening over there now. And Europe in general has this type of problem at scale. Maybe there are regions where it is not as pronounced and they have a different relationship with the European Union, for instance, right? One that I think is more beneficial to them than all the other countries which are effectively being used to keep that union up. But that's it. That is it. And many will disagree with me on this. Many will disagree.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that because Germany is actually footing the bill for everything in the EU.
That's what I'm saying. The country's getting used. That's what I'm saying. And look at Spain. They get their 5th fucking highway.
So, I'm bullish about one guy who's from Cyprus. He goes by Phidias Panayiotou.
Yeah, but that's Cyprus, though. There's like one guy in parliament. That's one guy.
One country,
He lets
one
us
country.
in on how it looks, right? That's it.
Also,
But he's
yeah,
not really going to
yeah,
change
but-
much.
Yeah, you also have to realize that the happened once now means it's gonna happen a lot less because they're actively gonna try going forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the state of Europe. It's fucked
Which
up
is
over there.
what-
It's really depressing.
Yeah,
So it's like
Go ahead, Anna.
deregulate or die.
I think.
Yes, it's less so about deregulate, but all about like coming back in touch with your cultural identity and not letting in every single fucking terrorist. How about that? We can start with this. I'm German. I get to say this, by the way.
I think the only country I can think of which at least has some hope in Europe is Switzerland. Maybe Estonia as well. But yeah, those are the countries I can
No,
think of.
Italy. No, Italy. Italy's kind of good.
No, not Italy.
No, you don't like Italy? Okay.
No, I don't. No, I do like Italy, but I don't think they're going to succeed. Laws are too retarded.
Fair enough.
I was thinking, the Italy leadership was doing
Also,
pretty good.
it's totally only. No, you're looking at the high up. You're if you're talking about like city, all the major cities are kind of overtaken now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Did I hear a?
I should do like Italy. Yeah, I really did like it. I was there. Yeah. And Switzerland as well. The Italian side of Switzerland is my favorite.
Yeah, that one's great. You've been to Cannobio?
No, I
Yeah,
don't
that
think
place.
so.
No, Lago Maggiore either.
What?
Lago Maggiore, that big lake.
Oh, that one. Yes, I've been to that one. The big lake. Yes.
Yes, it's very nice. They're good. Well, it used to be nice. Anyways, I'm not sure what it's like there now, but I've been there in 10 years, but usually more than 10 years. So I don't know. A lot's changed.
I forgot the name of the lake. I didn't remember any Italian, so I forgot the name of the lake.
Yes.
You said once you said the big lake, I remembered.
The big lake. Yes.
Adrian, I think I sent you a post to your DM a while back. You might find this interesting.
DMs were Signal or X? I recommend you send
X.
on Signal, by the way,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
because the tracking there is better. Like progress-wise, like if you wanted to keep a DM. But I'll check it out here. I want to play some. I want to play some. What is that? God damn it! Why does that escape me right now? Path of Exile 2. But then Outer's made me watch this anime.
How much of
Someone should watch that.
how much of that?
Matrix now.
How much of that have you watched?
I have literally not finished episode 1 yet because It's been work for most of the week, but I will get onto it today at least, so I have to cancel doing any streams. Hey, I work, okay? I have shit to do as well.
Alright, fine.
Okay. You forget, I live as an employee and simultaneously do this for reasons that I don't quite myself understand, but I just want to. that is literally the whole thing.
Right.
I just enjoy this. I do this for fun.
Anyway.
I'm not like Sam Altman. I know I get money from the revenue splits that you get, but I come here because it's fun. I have fun this way. I would have these esoteric conversations in group chats, but it's nice where the public gets to hear this as well, because the banger content that comes out from this is just, it's too valuable for the public not to receive this.
100%. Adrian,
Yes.
Check. I'm gonna stop now.
Why is there an Italian prostitute listening to this? Jesus Christ. Okay, checking group chats again. Everybody's sending me something. Alright, what's happening? Okay, let me hang on, I have the image that I wanted to have this go along with, because it is pretty important. It's pretty cool.
How's my sound quality tonight? I'm a little concerned.
Your sound quality is very nice. You are very crisp.
All right, let's go.
So, Lawyer Cat, I had to ask you, what do you think about the sort of the deregulation that has happened in the US for AI? So it could help AI leadership.
Could you? I had a hard time picking up what you said. The first part of it.
Well, basically, like they are helping out AI leadership by reducing the number of barricades through legal frameworks and systems. It's the recent executive order by Trump.
I have not seen that. I've been traveling a lot lately, so I haven't had much time to follow the recent information. So if you can tell me more about it, I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, I will DM you the post right away.
Grant, what's up, dude?
He dropped out.
Yeah, it looks. I invited.
He dropped.
He dropped. Yeah, I'll try to get him back if he comes back.
God damn it. Okay, let's have a look here. Checking.
There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna bring him back up. Oh, there you go. Hey, what's up?
Elon dropped. It's not a
Yeah.
good family. Elon drops you. I take that as a bad omen.
What's going on, Grant?
Not much, man. I'm in California right now, trying to create a movement. Eon, I just sent you a DM. So I'm in California. Trump was here today, and I'm trying to energize this state. I don't know if you guys are talking about this, but I'm trying to energize the state on taking some massive action to make this a common sense government again in California. So any of you that can help me do this, we have 3 rallies tomorrow. One in Irvine, another one in Carlsbad, and in San Diego, and then we're going to come back to LA.
and I'm going to try to do 3 to 5 of these a day until I turn this entire state to common sense. It'll be the most important thing that happens in American politics since Donald Trump took the presidency.
Sounds fantastic.
I feel that. Did you see the Trump talk with the mayor and some of the congressmen?
Saw the whole thing. I was as close as you can get to it.
I figured you'd be there.
So everything I'm saying, I'm like, hey man, you need immediate removal of the debris, no permits, let the people remove the debris. He said that exactly, and let the rebuilding start right now. If that doesn't happen, the state is ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to him one-on-one?
I can't comment on that right now.
Okay.
By the way, everybody here
but
on
I can't
stage,
tell
quote, post the space with join the conversation so more people can affect you that we're live, just in case. I see a few people haven't done that, so we do that now. But yeah, let's continue. I see Elliot came in. Nice. Elliot missed the best part of the discussion.
What did I miss, Adrian?
We had a DeepSeek discussion with Meta and LDJ.
Oh my gosh, dude, we were making mistakes.
Oh man. But anyways, Grant, yeah, I love what you're doing out there. It's pretty cool. On the real estate end of things, what do you think the future of California looks like in this current state? Like, what do you think would need to happen next for people to get, as much value out of that as possible? Because I don't think they will have the ability to financially, I don't think they have the financial ability to reconstruct a lot of the homes. So they probably would want to sell some of that land. So what does that look like for you? Like, what do you think the next major things would have to be for everyone to come out on top?
It's a great question, okay? So, number one, it really depends on how fast they move. Adrian, it depends on how quickly Malibu, the Palisades, and Aladina move to, one, do the cleanup. The cleanup needs to happen in 45 days or less, and then the rebuild should happen within 12 months. If that happens, the state of California will be a boom like we've never seen before, which will actually be a boom to the entire United States of America because the economy is so big here. If they take 3, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and allow Bass and Newsom to keep the regulations in place, then it's going to be a bust. So it's really about speed of execution. That's what Trump wants. That's what he talked about tonight. I mean, he said people should be cleaning up this week. A week is too long.
I think you need to also have the insurance situation.
Well, yeah, as well. The federal government's going to have to step in on the insurance. I mean, there's no way around that. Like,
no, I mean,
unfortunately, these multi-$100 billion, trillion-dollar insurance companies have been collecting premiums for years, and when it's convenient, they step out, they step aside, because they knew there was a potential for fires. I mean,
it wasn't just that. It was a lot more complicated. California passed a law putting a limit on the amount they could charge, and all the insurance companies. If you look at when they left California, it was after that law came into effect. So when the insurance companies realized that they couldn't charge and stay in California, they left. That was a circle in which that happened. It was California trying to create affordable insurance that caused those insurance companies to leave.
Yeah, but let's keep it real. Like, insurance companies make money almost all the time. They insure a car for $70,000. 4 years later, it's going to be worth $30,000, but they get the same premium for the car. So there's risk in insurance, but that's their business. They've made hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars.
And if if you have a situation where the state is actually causing these fires to happen because they're not doing the controlled burns, and at the same time,
I agree with you. I'm with you. I 100% agree that the state was. I'm at Pelican Hill Resort right now. There's no fires here. Why? Because they irrigate everything. There's water available for everything. There'll never be a fire here. So when the private sector gets involved in protecting their environments, they're protected. And when the government gets involved, there's no protection.
Not to mention, just so, like, I don't know if you guys know, but State Farm, Allstate, all those insurance companies, they stated a year ago, they put out an actual, like, I think they put out a post stating that the whole reason why was they gave them a year and they still didn't, abide to what the insurance, what they were asking for. It's not like the insurance just said, oh, well, they didn't do it, so we're out. No, they put them on notice, gave them time, and then they still didn't do it. That's the difference. They deliberately didn't do it. It's just pure negligence at the end of the day.
Yeah, so you have...
Yeah, that's 100% right.
I know who have told me, inside the injury, that have told me the circumstances. Basically, California's having these problems with basically letting these fires happen, but at the same time, they're putting a law that's limiting the amount of money they can make in California. So if you as an insurance company know you're guaranteed to lose money in California, you're not going to operate there. Because the state's funding.
It wasn't just that though. It was literally the fact that they put out a post saying we want them to clean it up, and then a year went by and they didn't do it. So they said, you know what, you have 45 days and we're pulling out. They didn't do it in 45 days. They pulled out. That's exactly how it happened. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They put it out publicly. They put out, I think it wasn't like a tweet longer, but they put out a straight statement about it. It's unbelievable that they even allowed it. And realistically, in Florida, it's kind of the same thing. They know they're operating at a loss, but they give you a packet in Florida with your insurance to tell you, hey, if you don't board up your house this way, if you don't, protect your house this way, we can't cover you. Even if it's just boarding up your windows and putting some sand in front of your driveway for the hurricane, even if the house floods, even if you tried, they'll still cover it, right? In California, they were pick up the brush behind. They just never did it. And mind you, I used to live in West Hills, right outside of Hidden Hills, and I could tell you straight away, they never cleaned up the mountains ever. You could literally watch the debris pile up after years and years and years. They just never did anything about it. It kind of sucks, but I know in the city of Calabasas, for example, the land is so dry you can't even smoke there. If a police officer catches you smoking and flicks your cigarette, it's a $350 fine.
Yeah, I was told that if the insurance company had to continue operating in California with what the California government is, with the amount of money that they're allowed to charge because of that law, the insurance company all over America would go fucking bankrupt. You would not be able
if they would have had to cover this, State Farm wouldn't be able to operate right now. They would literally be fined for Chapter 11.
You're going to risk insurance in all the states just because of what California is doing. So it makes sense that they left California because of what the government is doing.
I mean, if you really look at it right now, imagine 200, Grant, what's it at? 275 billion current right now, maybe more, to fix what's already damaged.
Yeah,
That's
They started at 50 billion. The day they said 50, the number's 500 billion. They're already up to 270. You will see 500. It will probably go to as big as a TARP's bailout at 700 billion. Everybody's underestimating. Now, if you take 7 or 10 years,
I think we lost you there, Grant.
Yeah, his connection's kind of rugging a little bit.
Yeah, no, I was just saying the longer it takes, the worse it gets. Okay, it could go into the $2 trillion if they take 7 or 10 years. But the faster they do it, the less it costs. And you know, the comment about the insurance companies warning the state, yeah, and the state was negligent. The state didn't move because they take a knee to the environmentalists. They put rodents over residents and the homeless. That's the problem. And they overregulate here, so you can't rebuild and create construction, concrete, double pane glass that is fire retardant and won't burn down. Look, my house is a perfect example. It didn't burn because of the way it's built. Everything around me burned to the ground because it's 25 years old or 50 years old or even worse, 75 years old.
And for that privilege, you get to pay the highest taxes in the country.
I mean, there is a lot of shitty new construction these days. It's not all good.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, if you were to like a new house in California, you would notice that most of the major insurance companies in California wouldn't even let you buy. They wouldn't even let you pay it. They're just like, we don't operate in California anymore.
Well, that's not necessarily true. So they still operate in California, but what they do is they just won't cover fire insurance. So like they'll cover like obviously like small damage, but they won't cover anything for fire.
Yeah, no, there are companies that will do that, but I literally went on a website. We own like a property in California. I went on one of the insurance companies, and they literally said we don't insure homes in California anymore.
Yeah, they're like the major ones, like I think Allstate, State Farm, they're all out.
Yeah, I think it was State Farm. And this was like a year ago.
Yeah, it was a previous, I think it was previous month, if I'm not mistaken, or a couple months, maybe 3 months, they stated it, and the next thing you know, boom, this happens, and everybody's like throwing their hands up like they didn't know, like, it's just so crazy.
Yeah, I forget if it was Allstate or State Farm. Yeah, anyway, either way. Point is...
Yeah, State Farm was the one that made the big funk about it.
Yeah.
Looks like Pete got in as a Secretary of Defense, so that's okay.
What was the vote?
50-50 splits. Vance with the deciding.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell said, like, he was like, yeah, I'm going to vote for Pete Hegseth, and then last second decided not to, like, bro, that guy's too old.
50-50 and the vice president?
The vice president has the vice president has the deciding vote.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Here is post is put up top, post made by me.
That's I think it's very interesting that the vice president is the highest ranking person in the Senate.
He has to be. He has to be. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, it is the way it is.
It is
Speaking
what it is.
of geopolitics, Adrian, what do you think about the AFD?
What do you mean? What do I think about it?
So what do you?
It's like a very general question. Is like any specific action that they had taken that would.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying in general. What do you think about the party?
German party.
I'm very mixed about it. I think they could go places, but they may need to change a few things. I think out of all of them, I think what was his name again? It's a very complicated name. It's weird. Always escapes me.
Alice Wendell?
No, not her.
I think realistically they have a chance because every other in Germany would rather work together, no matter how different than the work of the AFD.
Yeah, everybody's like saying, hey, anything except the AfD, anything but the AfD. That's what the Germans do. So that they have a chance of winning, I will be realistic and say that there's a very low chance for them to win. I think they might have a chance, but they would need help. They'd need to be in a coalition, and I don't think many of them will want to be in a coalition with the AfD, given its the sentiment that would bring to them, to whoever that membership, to whoever that member of the coalition would be. So
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem.
I see.
The environmental people should be classified as this.
Yes, all of them. Anyone who disrupts the economy in any shape or form to the point that it is, say, sabotage of infrastructure, or using herself, the body, as a means to do so, I think should constitute as an act of terrorism. Gluing yourself to the road, I think, because of the intent that comes with this, the intent being to sabotage the ability for motorists to progress and, actually contribute to society, which is something they can't really fathom, I suppose, because, you're gluing yourself to the road. Yeah, that should be classified as a terrorist. You should go away to jail for like 5 to 10 years, in my opinion. Fuck you. You don't get to destroy the economy. That's not going to happen. If you want to stop oil, then maybe you want to accelerate the current development and not be a retard that goes and burns down the fucking power supply for the gigafactory. By the way, the only company in the entire fucking country that actually makes something that is in line with your cause. Electric vehicles. You absolute fucking degenerates.
Oh yeah, and then
And then they say wind energy. So wind energy is a piece of shit. Wind energy should not be considered, and it should be made illegal in some places to even suggest. It's fucking useless.
No, it should always be.
It is extremely expensive.
Wind power is only good.
No, it's not.
Wind power is
No.
only good if you're on the
Wind
coast.
power is garbage. Wind power is garbage.
Maintenance costs and everything.
Wind energy is the worst form of energy.
Wind energy is ugly, inefficient, environmentally destructive, landscape ruining, nation bankrupting. Fucking, you cannot produce enough energy with this thing to even offset the carbon that it would normally take to just create that same amount of energy via a power plant that burns fucking coal. The maintenance costs are way too high. If you did this, if the world had to rely on wind energy, the price for energy would literally fucking skyrocket.
The fucking blades literally shit ton of birds, and they're not replaced. No.
Oh, and then when you do eventually have to replace them, you cannot recycle them either. They have to be buried or dismantled. Yes, you cannot replace them. They have to be you cannot replace them you cannot make them new again. You can't. You have to you have to fully replace them and throw away the blade because you can't do anything else with it.
Yeah.
Recycling is not impossible. It's impractical. So no, wind energy is a fucking piece of garbage. There's nothing anyone can say. And I know many people have their opinions on it, but those are just opinions, and they are uneducated opinions. I myself actually use renewable energies, right? I actually do. They don't. So they can shut the fuck up because they know nothing. Quite simple opinion. Anyone who suggests wind energy has no understanding as to how the economy works, because there is no way that you can justify using this overpriced, useless technology in any shape or form. You cannot justify that. There is no way. And if you are justifying it somehow, the data that you're using is lied upon. It's bullshit data.
I think
I
it's
can prove this, actually.
I think it's quite useful, especially when you have roofs of houses, for example.
Yeah, but only in southern regions, anywhere where sun is guaranteed. Solar is a great supplementary thing in northern regions, but primarily I'd say for southern regions, that's where it can be used primarily, right? So you can have something else be supplementary,
I think what you
basic
need,
hydrocarbon.
I think what you need is primary nuclear and then just supplementary renewables.
That depends
And
on
that's
the
the
region.
worst part.
That depends on the region.
People don't trust nuclear because they're like, oh my god, Chernobyl, everybody's gonna die from radiation poisoning. It's like, dude, Chernobyl taught us what not to do.
Exactly.
Chernobyl is literally the worst case of the worst cases when the worst of all worst cases happens. Like, literally was the absolute worst it could ever be.
Not much safer. We've got much safer nuclear. We learned from the mistakes.
It's like those people that say microwaves gives your food radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
Did we ever go anywhere with thorium salt reactors? I remember reading about that a long time ago.
Thorium? More like borium!
I'd have to look those up to be sure.
The only
Nuclear is
what
something I'm
reactors?
aware of.
So thorium salt-based reactors, it's my understanding that they're a lot safer in terms of potential for meltdown, but they don't produce weapons-grade plutonium, so they're not as desirable for, those kinds of countries.
I'm assuming that Pennsylvania, I know we have one, it's Limerick, and that one, yes, that does produce weapons grade uranium as well. I'm pretty sure it does.
I think there might be. I think that's one of 4 reactors that you're talking about. I think that's the one that China uses.
Yeah, the molten salt reactor.
Yeah, I think that's the Gen 4 China. Let me check.
Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, go into the Adrian Dittman Show.
Salt reactors are. You should ask DeepSeek.
Say, why is this show being broadcast into Clubhouse? What the fuck? Why is this show on Clubhouse? I came here from Clubhouse. How is this show on here on Clubhouse?
Yeah.
Who are you guys? Is this Elon Musk?
Nuclear reactors now. They're complete. They don't have.
Go, Hermes! Use your magic caduceus to communicate.
Yeah, wind energy. This is the thing. Like, I am all for renewable energies. I'm like the person who will always chill for them, 100%. If they're economically viable, of course. I'm not a fucking idiot. I actually, it's an amazing thing about many of the politicians and environmentalists, of course, don't understand this when they make the selling point is that it's not their money. They haven't earned the money, so they don't understand what economy is or how it works. They just like to put themselves at the head of certain things and say we have a critical issue and then make that critical issue be the thing that everybody focuses on, which they're very successful at. And look at what the world is now like. Very shitty, eh? So let's probably not listen to the people who are pseudo-Marxist and get on with it. Get on with actually, building things and producing things and, working, which they don't. They don't work. They put themselves on the road so they can piss us all off, eh? Yeah. 100%. I have no respect for these people. Fuck them all.
You know how we discussed.
The founders' intention was that the electors would have discretion. So the electors couldn't. And we've legislated that out in 38 states in the District of Columbia. So in 38 states.
I'm going to trigger somebody with this comment, but I'm going to say it. And that's what Trump tried to do, and people lost their shit in 2016, which was to say the electors are the ones that are responsible.
He wanted to replace the electors. He didn't want to. He wanted to provide a different slate of electors.
Well, I thought I was more on the global concept of he wanted some form of electors of an electoral college to be it, which was that is constitutionally correct, but it's not popular in our culture, and that's what I would with it. I agree with you.
I would be completely for the electors being able to say
we're in agreement.
We don't think Trump should be president.
That sounds just like people.
We're not going to make it a Democrat. We're going to go President Mike Pence or President Mitt Romney. Like,
you need to work at least 3 years in fucking in the private sector before you should be allowed to.
Because this is exactly what people were afraid of, demagogues.
And you must not be fired for incompetence at any other point there. That would then somehow disrupt the 3-year period. You have to hold one job down, and it has to be a good one. I think
himself. Okay, let's get back to Benjamin.
Let's get back to the title.
It certainly wasn't.
Let's say, for instance, if you wanted to be a bureaucrat who deals with agriculture, then you will have to be in farming, at a certain level in farming, for at least 3 years.
You know what?
Maybe multiple levels for 3 years.
I'll myself for the next 2 days. Go ahead, bud.
Why does the
Benjamin, try to be at least a couple notches more entertaining if you have to be such a bullish person and take over.
Yeah, Roy.
Okay, at least try to be. At least try to be fucking.
Quick advertisement from Young Elvis is, like I stated, I get to talk about myself for the next 2 days because I host Ask the Autistic. For anyone who hasn't already, join my house on my profile to be able to attend. Please and thank you. If